Hi there, this is Leah with the Ray Center and Eric Amaro with the Waterford Valley Recreation Department. And what is he up to?
Hi. The wintertime is a great time for looking at tracks and just looking at some kind of curious tracks here. Really, the snow is kind of like a storybook, and you can look at these tracks and get an idea of what the animals were doing and what type of animal it is. Usually, what I start off doing is just kind of look at the tracks and kind of where they're going and get an idea of like what type of area that they're in. So these tracks over here look very human-like. They're almost like a monkey almost, but I know that we don't have monkeys up here. But I also look for clues. So I noticed that kind of a banana here too, but probably someone was just hiking or something and dropped it. So little curious. I don't know about it, but a few other things that will help you when you're looking at tracks. So one, looking at the tracks, where they're going, kind of what's around, looking for those type of clues. But a few other things that will help you, a tape measure. We're gonna have these cards at the Ray Center and at the Rec Center. So swing on by when you can and pick one of these up. They're made by New Hampshire Fish and Game. And they have a little measuring device on the side and a bunch of really helpful information. But a few things I want to point out to you, a few tips. Looking at here, one of the first things you want to look at is the general size of the print. So kind of looking at these dots here, we're going to pretend that those are actual prints. And so what you're going to do is with your card or with a tape measure, get an idea of how big, width and length that individual print is. And then you're going to look at two other things, the stride and the straddle. So the stride is from one print to the next, kind of like when you take a footprint and a step, and that's your stride. And then the straddle is the difference in between one print to the other. So straddle is pretty much that width of that track. There's a few other things that will help you. So look at the number of toes. So 2 toes, 3 toes, 4 or 5 toes. So the 2 toes, if you see 2 toes in a track, it's going to be either a deer or moose. If you see 3, it's going to be a bird. So if it's a larger print, it's probably a ruffed grouse or a turkey. The 4 prints are your canines and your felines. So bobcats, foxes, coyotes, or a dog. And then your 5 toes are going to be more of like your mustelids, your weasels, fisher, skunk, mink, things like that. So 2, 3, 4, 5 toes. One thing that will help you looking at canine tracks is to figure out if it's a dog, a family dog, or if it's a wild canine. Look at where the track is going. So dogs don't have to worry about conserving energy. They can run around. They're just out there having fun. They don't have to worry about conserving energy. But foxes and coyotes really have to worry about food and conserving energy. So they're going to go in a straight line. So if you're out on a hike and you see a set of tracks that look like canine, but it's just going a straight line, it's probably a wild canine. If it's zipping around all over the place, probably a dog. Another thing that will help you figure out the difference between a feline and wild canine, and you're gonna have to come over here, is the track pattern. So felines tend to have a round track, where wild canine tends to have more of an oval shape. So with a feline, we're just going to pretend that this is the individual toe prints and that this is the heel pad. So with a feline, if you were to able to take up those individual toe prints, they'd all fit within the heel pad. But a wild canine, that won't work. Their individual toe prints are too big to fit in the heel pad. So that's one way you can tell the difference between a wild canine and a wild feline, is that the heel pad on a canine is too small to allow the individual prints of each toe to fit in the heel pad. Another thing is the track pattern. So looking at snowshoe hares and squirrels, you'll tend to see 2 small prints in the front and 2 larger prints on the side for a squirrel. And with a snowshoe hare, it's very similar, but those 2 front tracks are going to be in line with each other, and the large feet are going to be off on the side. So they're very similar, but a slight difference with the way the front hands come down. So that's called the track pattern. And these cards will give you some more clues and information about that. Also, this Stokes guide is amazing. It has life-size track patterns in the front. Ton of great information in there for you. Also a lot of animal behavior. So it's a lot of fun. It's a fun activity, and you can do it anytime. There's a little bit of fresh snow is the best time to go out. When you have a hard pack of snow with a couple inches on top of that, that's the best time to get out there during the winter time. Look at those tracks and have a lot of fun with it.